Hello everyone, welcome to video class. Before going to lesson, let me introduce myself. I am your teacher Kavita here. I am going to handle social science for class 8th, 9th and 10th. In 8th standard social, there are 32 lessons. 32 lessons can be classified into 6 parts. 12 lessons are from history, 4 lessons are from political science and 4 lessons are from sociology, 5 geography and 4 lessons economics and last 3 lessons are from business studies. I am going to take social science for class 8th. Here today we are with new lesson from history part, that is sources. In this session, we are going to learn on these main topics. Those are meaning of history, meaning of sources, types of sources. And also today we are going to learn only literary sources. Only this part we are going to learn in today's session. Let me ask one question for you. You would have learned in the previous class. The question is, what is history? What is history? History means the systematic study of past events. History we have to study according to chronological order, according to systematic way. The overall meaning of history is the systematic study of past events are called history. History is written on the basis of sources. There is no source, no history, because each and everything events of history is completely based on sources. Sources are like a backbone for history. Without sources, is it possible to write history? No. Just let me give an example for you. For our human body, which is the main basic need, which is the main basic aspect, that is bones. How bones are very important for human body because to constant our body. In the same way, sources are like a backbone for history. So, without sources, is it possible to write history? No. It means sources are like a backbone for history. Each and everything events from ancient to till now, it is completely based on the sources. Another example also I will give you, that is advocate. XYZ advocate is going to present their arguments on the basis of proof. How proofs are like a backbone for advocate, in the same way sources are like a backbone for history. Is it possible advocate present their arguments in front of judge? No. It's the main basic need, that is proof. Proof like a backbone for advocate. In the same way, sources are like a backbone for history. There is no source, no history. So, this is about the meaning of history. Next, move on another topic, that is meaning of sources. What is source? Source in the sense adharagalu. The meaning of source is if the things used by human beings in the past have remained, then they are called sources. It means the things used by earlier man. Here, earlier man, he left so many things that those things are very neat to write history. The things are agriculture tools, coins, inscriptions, monuments and other religious temples. These are all called sources. So, sources are very important to write history. So, this is about the meaning of source. Next, move on another topic, that is types of sources. Types of sources can be classified into two groups. How many groups? Two groups. Those are literary sources and archaeological sources. Again, in literary sources again can be classified into two groups. Those are written literature and oral literature. So, let us discuss about written literature. Written literature is the main sources to write history. Is a main backbone for history. Written literature can be given explanation, the way of lifestyle of the earlier people, the old man people, their lifestyle, the social life, economical life, political life, religious life. These are all things we have to know from written literature. In written literature again can be classified into two groups. Those are native literature and foreign literature. So, let us discuss about the first one, native literature. What is native literature? The word is indicate, the word is explanation, native. Native in the sense local. So, here the meaning of native literature is the literature created by Indian writers in their local languages are called native literature. So, many literary works are there in our India in many different languages. So, the languages are Sanskrit, Prakrit, Kannada, Gujarati, Malayalam, Tamil, Telugu, Rajasthani, Hindi and other languages. It means the writer, literature is created by our Indian writers in their local languages. Many literary works are there. Among them, few important literary works are there. For example, Kautilya. Kautilya's literary work Arthashastra, and Hala, his literary work Gata Sapta Sati, and Adikavi Pampa, his literary work Vikramarjuna Vijaya, and Vishakadatta's literary work Mudra Rakshasa, Kalhana's Rajatarangini, Bilhana's his literary work Vikramanka Devacharita, Chand Bardai, his literary work Prithviraj Raso, and many writers have written in their local languages. Many writers. These are all important native works. So, native literature also can be given the way of style of the early people, the social life, economical life, political life and religious life. So, this is about native literature. Let's move on another kind of literature, that is foreign literature. What is foreign literature? The word is there foreign. It means from other countries people. The meaning of foreign literature is many foreigners who visited to our India as travelers, as traders, as ambassadors, missionaries. These are all we call foreigners. What they observed in our India, just they are written in their work. Just they explain their experience what they observed in our India. Many foreigners visited our India. For example, Megasthani, Fahian, Huanshan, Ptolemy, Ferista, and others. These are all comes under the foreign literature. It means foreigners. They came from other countries. The prominent foreign literature and prominent foreign works are Megasthenes. Megasthenes, his literary work Indica. Huanshan literary work Cuk. Fahian is literary work Ghokuki. Ptolemy, his literary work Geography. Ferista, his literary work Tariq-i-Ferista. So, foreign literature also can be given the way of lifestyle of the people, economical life, social life, religious life. So this is about foreign literature. Next move on, another kind of literature from literary sources, that is oral literature. What is the meaning of oral literature? The word is saying oral. It means it is not there in written form. That is by words. Oral literature is completely different from written literature. Oral literature means the words. It passes from one person to another person by mouth. It's called oral literature. Oral literature can be classified into 4 types. How many types? 4 types. Those are folk story, folk songs, folk legends, and ballads. These are all we call oral literature. As I told now, oral literature, it means it passes from one person to another person by their words, by mouth. Oral literature, it is not there in written form, just in words. Since the beginning of human life, human beings are passing their experience by words. That words, it changes from one generation to another generation. From one person to another person. The folk people have created many ballads on their favorite local heroes. The heroes are Kumara Rama, Sanguli Rayana, Kitturani Channamma, Sindhura Lakshmana, Tipu Sultan, and many others. These are all the folk peoples have created ballads on them. Here, legends means the local mythological stories. Every place will have their own legends. For example, places: Koppal, Pattadakallu, Gokarna, Shravana Belagola, Bangalore, Mysore, and other places. These are all we call mythological places. So by this topic, today we completed one more topic from sources. So remaining topic we will study in the next session. Till then, keep watching video. Thank you and have a great day.